Welcome and thanks for clicking on the video. It's been a while. It's been a while since I posted anything on this channel. Any sports talk, any BS, any BSing through sports. I haven't posted in a while, but with the off-season, it's the summer, so I decided to make the summer comeback. And with the summer coming around, and with the finals going underway, Game 1 today, June 5th, that means the off-season, the best part, one of the best parts of the NBA at least, is slowly approaching free agency. The NBA offseason, and what is described by many insiders of the NBA and many people involved in NBA media as going to be the craziest offseason in NBA history. Let's see if that's just hype or what it lives up to. But the biggest story so far, besides Giannis, if you want to call it, has any truth to it and you think he's really going to get traded, is Kevin Durant. That is the most crazy for sure thing that is going to happen this offseason. Kevin Durant will be on the move out of Phoenix, out of that failed experiment by the billionaire, rich owner. It's a failed experiment. You know, whether it was the big three, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, or you want to say Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker, it failed. It failed. They didn't do anything. So KD, he wants out. The Suns, they're going to depart from him. They're going to grant his wishes, and they're going to get him and work with him to get out of Phoenix. But they want draft capital. She's been a while. Can't say capital. They want draft capital. And Shams reported today, conversations begin to pick up on a potential trade over the next 2 to 3 weeks ahead of the draft. And there's 4 to 6 teams seriously interested in Kevin Durant. And those 4 to 6 teams are obvious. It's going to be the Rockets, the Spurs, the Heat, the Knicks, and there's going to be some other Western teams, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, around there. Those teams that need another piece, need another shot. I don't think the Warriors, the Timberwolves, depending, maybe even the Cavs. It's going to be another team, but it's those same Spurs, Heat, Rockets, Knicks probably, and another team in their Timberwolves that are going to be after Kevin Durant, that are probably going to get him. It's probably going to land within either the Rockets, the Spurs, or the Heat. Those are my 3. And Timberwolves sleeper team, because they have Ant, and it's going to want a politic to get him. He's going to campaign to get Kevin Durant. But I think it's either the Heat, the Spurs, or the Rockets. Now, here's what I think. Kevin Durant, he has 1 more year on his contract. He's a unrestricted free agent after this upcoming season, 2026. So he's going to need a new deal. But with Kevin Durant's play style, I don't see him falling off. He's a baller. He's a bucket. That's what he's known for, getting buckets. And with his play style, him being 7 foot tall, there's no issue with him getting buckets. It's not like LeBron, even though, there's question marks. There's not question marks about it because it's proven it already. But with LeBron's play style, you're going to have question marks him falling off of that all-star level. If it wasn't LeBron, With Giannis's play style, once he gets up there, it's going to question marks about his ability. Russell Westbrook fell off already because of how he played. And as you age, that play style doesn't translate well into later ages in life of your career. But Kevin Durant's play style is he's going to get to his spots, he's going to get buckets, he's going to shoot over people. And he's 7 foot tall, so it doesn't matter. I don't see his numbers. His numbers haven't dropped throughout his career. He still, last season, would have been All-NBA. He was 3 games off of the threshold of 65 games. He played 62 games. Still should have given him All-NBA. He would have been All-NBA. There's no question he is not a top 15 player in the league. He's better than Karl Anthony Towns, who was named All-NBA second team, I believe, or All-NBA third team, one of those 2. He's better than a couple of All-NBA players. Jalen Williams. He's better than those players, so he's clearly All-NBA. He's clearly still a top player in this league. Averaged 26 points per game. The Suns were one of the only, I think, were they the only team that had a 25-point, both players, Devin Booker, they had 2 players, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, averaging 26 points per game. At one point, I believe that they were the only team. I believe they're probably still the only team. Can't think of a duo off the top of my head that are both averaging 26 points per game, and they still sucked, which was crazy. But yeah, his assist numbers haven't fell off because he's a bucket. He gets buckets. He's not a facilitator. His rebound numbers haven't fell off throughout his career. His points haven't fell off throughout his career. He's still averaging 26.6 points per game at the age of 37. So there's no issue with age. Except my problem is no issue with decline. My problem is with Kevin Durant and going to the Spurs. I do not think that the Spurs should pursue Kevin Durant. They already pursued De'Aaron Fox. They didn't trade as much as I think they would need to trade for De'Aaron Fox. I mean, would probably benefit. They would most likely benefit right now with Kevin Durant. Getting 26 points per game. He's not going to average that on that team, of course, but he's going to still get 20 plus points per game, 20 points per game. He's going to be around there. But I do not think that they should go after Kevin Durant. Now, the Rockets and the Heat, different conversations. I think they should go pursue Kevin Durant and not chips all in, but put a decent amount of chips towards the middle of the table for Kevin Durant. But the Spurs, on the other hand, who it came out today or yesterday that his team sees as a preferred destination, the Spurs. And a package would be, this is the typical package that people came up with that would work, Devin Vassell, the 14th pick in the draft, and Harrison Barnes, because the Suns are obviously trying to trade him ahead of the draft. They want to pick now. Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and the 14th overall pick. Now, I think the Suns are going to ask for more than that, and so they will have to give up young players. They have Sohan, Vassell, Pick, and then Harrison Barnes. I do not think that the Spurs would benefit as much as they think they would from a trade for Kevin Durant. You have De'Aaron Fox. You have Wembanyama. Those guys, I would say, for the first season, you see this will be the first season coming up where they're both healthy. Wembanyama had those blood clots. De'Aaron Fox got deactivated, basically got hurt, got deactivated because the season was in the garbage. I would say, why don't you let De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama with Stephon Castle in his second year, and you keep these young players like Vassell. You can get rid of Sohan. He's garbage. I don't think he's any good. But with these young core, and with this, don't trade your draft capital because their draft capital is great for the coming years. I think they have picks from Atlanta. The Atlanta swap 2027. They have an Atlanta pick. They have a lot of first round picks coming up. Why don't you let this young group, like what the Thunder are doing, see what you have there and draft to support it right now with your pick that you have, the 14th pick? Draft to support it, and just see what you have with this young group. Because what the Thunder did is they saw what they had with their young group, second round exit. But then they got better added complementary pieces like Hartenstein and Caruso, not big whales like Kevin Durant, who can mess up the scoring of De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama, which you don't even know how that's going to work yet. And then look what they did now. They're in the finals, and they're in a great position to win it, and they probably will win it. So I think the Spurs have a great young core. Their two stars are young. They have potentially one of the best players, most likely to be one of the best players of all time right now in the league, Wembanyama. If you look at all the young stars, Wembanyama's probably the most likely one to be a great, an all-time great, top 10 conversation, besides Jokic and LeBron, obviously, and all the older guys. But the young stars, the young group, the future of the NBA, he has the potential to be a GOAT. And he's hyped up to be. So why don't you let your young core grow together, practice this offseason, game plan this offseason, figure it out, and let them run this season, see what happens. And then KD's going to be a free agent. He's not going to fall off. You can try to get him a free agency, maybe. But if he goes to a team like the Rockets and Heat, they'll probably extend him for another 2 years. He'll be 40, and then that'll be it. But you can see we have then. Then if you think, okay, we need another superstar to support De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama, then you go ahead and get that other superstar and try to get Giannis or something. Why Kevin Durant? I feel like Giannis would have a preferred destination, even if he gets traded this season or it's next season, to the Spurs. Like, why would you want to go to Spurs? I think Giannis would fit right in with the Spurs if you need another superstar. But I say let the young core, let it be a young team, let it be the fun team, and let's see if you can have recreate something like what the Thunder did, and not disrupt Chet Holmgren and the young pieces for a aging veteran, which is what they could have done, but they didn't. They stuck with it, and guess what? They're in the finals. They're probably going to win the finals. Now, for the Rockets and the Heat, I'm a Heat fan, so I'm going to talk from the Heat fan perspective. The Heat, go get Kevin Durant. This fan base has been in a starless hole. Jimmy Butler, okay, but we've been teased with Damian Lillard. We've been teased with Bradley Beal before we saw Bradley Beal was garbage. We've been teased with Kevin Durant countless times. We've been teased with Every superstar that becomes available, Donovan Mitchell, every superstar that becomes available in the NBA, we've been teased with, and we struck out swinging with the helmet falling off 1,000 times. We got into a full count with Damian Lillard, and that was it. And they said, "Hell no, we're going to the Bucks because we don't want to trade you there because we're just jealous he wants to be there." I guess I don't understand what Joe Cronin was doing. Doesn't make any sense. But the Heat don't go all in. You can't trade every young player on the team. Jovic, Ware, everybody. But you have to give them up. You have to give up your pick, your 20th pick. So I would say the Heat need that score. They need Kevin Durant with Tyler. Kevin Durant. Your defense might get weaker because Kevin Durant at this age probably not the greatest defender, but he's 7 foot tall. He'll make up for it. He'll be all right defending. He's better than Tyler Herro. You have at least one star player. He's not going to be the worst star player defender on the court. Tyler Herro is going to be there. Tyler Herro, teams pick on him. But this season, teams have figured out Tyler Herro. He's an all-star. He's great. He's a bucket. Yes, he's going to average a good amount of points per game. He's going to get to buckets. But when teams figure him out easily and they focus on him, which they did as the season progressed, he had no one else to go give the ball and get a bucket to. You have down the stretch, we had Davion Mitchell. He's not a known bucket getter. You had whoever was shooting guard, Duncan Robinson. And you had Bam Adebayo, who did not have a good offensive season, in my opinion. He did not show the progression that you wanted for Bam Adebayo coming off of the Team USA season. Maybe that was fatigue, whether or not. But I think Bam Adebayo's max potential is what he has reached. Bam Adebayo is who he is now. What you see from Bam this season, it's what you're going to see from Bam throughout his prime years. A great defender. And he can get buckets, but he's not going to be a primary scorer and cannot be a first to second option scorer on a contending team. And the Heat were not contending. They got beat by the Cavs, who got stomped by the Pacers. So you could say the Heat lost to one of the better regular season teams, as the best regular season team in the league as last year, but then they just got stomped out by the Pacers. So it doesn't make any sense. The Heat, it was embarrassing playoff. The fans need something, and even though it's an aging veteran superstar, it's a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant. He has a name. He gets buckets. You have another option of scoring besides Tyler Herro, who could be a second option, in my opinion, and Bam Adebayo, who could be a third option scorer. The only problem is who you're going to give up. Are you stuck on Jovic? You really think he's that good? Do they want Jovic? Do they even think he's valuable enough coming off of an injury? Has he shown enough progression in the first half of the season where the Suns want him in a Kevin Durant trade for the first round pick, of course? And I think you have to give up Chloe Ware, but I think I'm honestly doing it. You sign Kevin Durant to an extension, you have him for 3 years. He's going to average 20 plus points per game. It's worth it. Even though the eyes are set on 2026, maybe you can move off of Kevin Durant. You can figure it out, but right now, they hit this season. The Heat need something. The fans need something with the Miami Heat, and that is Kevin Durant. And that the only option is Kevin Durant, unless you magically get Giannis because he says he wants to go to the Heat. Other than that, you're not going to get Giannis because you don't have enough capital for a Giannis player. So the Heat have to hope that the Spurs aren't willing to give up too much. The Rockets aren't, because they have, out of the three, that I think the Rockets, Spurs, and the Heat obviously have the worst amount of assets, the worst package to give up out of the three. So you got to hope these teams aren't going too much in on 37-year-old veteran superstar, 37-year-old Kevin Durant. And you got to hope Kevin Durant sees you as preferred destination and wants to be there. But the Heat need him. The Rockets, I think, need him. Because Jalen Green, he's not a reliable scorer, as you can see in the playoffs. And you got Sengun. You need another guy who could score. You need a Kevin Durant type scorer, 3-level scorer. The Spurs, I don't think you should go for Kevin Durant. Heat, Rockets, pursue chips. Some of the chips. Do not grab all the chips. Put some of the chips to the middle of the table. I know it's a rough video to watch. I feel like I kind of repeated the same things, but it's the first one back. I needed to get something out. I needed to get myself in the flow of things so there'll be more better stuff coming out. More planned in my head, more organized ideas. But everywhere my head's all over the place with Kevin Durant. And I just want to get my opinion out and get a video out so then I can get in the mood to get more videos in. Thanks for watching.